friends, welcome to online biology class. So today we are going to cover one more subheading under this topic, that is a post-fertilization structure and the event. So in last two videos we covered the endosperm and embryo. Yes, these are the post-fertilization structure. So today's topic is seed. So here many small facts are there. So we'll cover here. So seed is end product of sexual reproduction. Also called as fertilized ovule formed inside the fruit. This is the first point. So this is a seed is an end product. After sexual reproduction, fruit form, inside that fruit's seed is there. So of the sexual reproduction, that's why it is called the fertilized ovule. So after fertilization, this ovule develop into seed, and this ovule is present inside the ovary. That ovary develop into fruit one. So this is the first fact. Second one, that every seed is made up of three parts. First one is a seed coat or coats. So under seed coat, two are there. One is a testa, second one is a tegmen. Testa is a outer layer, tegmen is a inner coat. Yes, second part, it contains cotyledon. Either if it contains one cotyledon in monocot, otherwise they contain two cotyledon in dicots. So they contain seed coat, inside that one cotyledons are there. Third one is important, that is the embryonal axis. So this embryonal axis are most developed from that embryo, zygote. Clear? So every seed is made up of seed coat. Only this term is given in the textbook. Seed coats, cotyledon, and embryonal axis. Seed coat, outer layer is called as the testa, inner layer is called the tegmen. So if it contains only one cotyledon, which is present in the monocot one, if contain two cotyledon, that is nothing but the dicot. Next point is, so third one, cotyledons are simple swollen structure in which nutrient is stored. So when you take this cotyledon, so at mature state, this cotyledon is nothing but a little bit fleshy, swollen part. In that one, nutrient is present. This nutrient only is supplied to this developing embryo, which is in future develop into seed. Now, so these are the main point. Now, in some cases, so the types of seed is given. That is the next point. So mature seeds are two types. Seeds are two types. Under that one, first one is eggs albuminous or non-endospermic seed. So try to concentrate on these points. So this is an important topic. So seeds are eggs albuminous. Another is a albuminous seed one. Eggs albuminous mean in these seeds at or in mature seeds some residual endosperm is present. So actually this endosperm, which is a post-fertilization structure, so this is actually meant for the reservoir of the food one, which is required for the developing embryo. So in this case, the endosperm is some residual means endosperm is absent. Clear? So in this case, endosperm is not seen because endosperm is completely utilized by developing embryo. Try to understand this one. So endosperm is a source of nutrition. Clear? This endosperm, the food is required for the developing embryo. If this embryo utilize this endosperm completely, so then in mature seed this endosperm is absent. Clear? So such seeds are called as the eggs albuminous or the non-albuminous seeds. So for example, when you take the peas or beans or even groundnut, these are the typical legumes you can see in the kitchen room one. When you take the peas, beans and the groundnut, when you cut that one, so you will get the seed coat. Inside that one, 2 cotyledons are there and embryonal axis is also visible, but endosperm is not present in that one. So simply means during the embryonic development, if the endosperm is completely utilized, then this endosperm is absent in the mature seed. Such seeds are called the eggs albuminous or the non-endospermic seed. Now, second type of seed is called as the albuminous or endospermic seed. So this is the second type. The opposite case to this. What happened in mature seed? Some residual endosperm is present because it is not completely consumed by developing embryo. Can you differentiate this one? So in this case, the residual endosperm is present because it is not completely consumed. Clear? During the embryo development. That is only difference. So simply ಹೇಳಬೇಕಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಈ ಬೀಜದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂಬ್ರಿಯೋ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗೋ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂಡೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ದ್ಯಾಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಮೆಚ್ಯೂರ್ ಸೀಡ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂಡೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಹಾಗೆ ಉಳಿದಿರುತ್ತೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಪ್ರಮಾಣದಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಯಾವ ಬೀಜದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂಡೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೋ ಆ ಬೀಜಕ್ಕೆ ಅಲ್ಬ್ಯೂಮಿನಸ್ ಸೀಡ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಎಂಡೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮಿಕ್ ಸೀಡ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸಪೋಸ್ ದ ಎಂಡೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ಲಿ ಯುಟಿಲೈಸ್ಡ್ and mature seed does not contain any endosperm, such seeds are called the exalbuminous seed. So example for this one, so if you cut and if you get the endosperm one, for example wheat, godi, maize, barley, then after even castor is there, even onion. So these are the albuminous seed: wheat, maize, barley, castor, onion. So these are the albuminous seed. So based on the presence or absence of the endosperm, the seeds are classified with the exalbuminous and the albuminous seed one. So this may be 3 marks question. So distinguish between albuminous and exalbuminous seed question ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. Examples of the exalbuminous and albuminous seed ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. So try to make perfect this concept. Clear? So now, so this is about the basic some facts regarding the seeds one. Still more some facts are there. So try to cover these facts on this board today with a short pause. Yes, true. So next one, types of seed we see. Next one is in some seeds a remnant of nucellus is present. That persistent nucellus is called as perisperm. Try to remember these terms. So in some seeds, nucellus, which is present inside the ovule, just below the integument one, that nucellus still present in the mature seeds. That persistent nucellus is called the perisperm. It is 1 mark question. Define perisperm is going to ask, or the what is perisperm. Perisperm is nothing but persistent nucellus present in some seeds one. So examples, for example, when you take the black pepper and beet, in this one seed contain the persistent nucellus. That persistent nucellus is called as a perisperm. 3 terms we covered up. So albuminous seed is different, exalbuminous seed is different, perisperm terminology is different. That is nothing but the persistent nucellus. So next point, due to presence of seed coat will protect the embryo inside. On that seed coat, small pore is present. That pore is called as present, which is nothing but micropyle. So when you observe the chana or this one, kadle ಏನು ನೋಡ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ, kadle it a small pore ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತೆ. Clear? So here it is a micropyle. Small pore is present on that seed coat. Small hole is there. That is nothing but the micropyle. During the seed germination, the oxygen and water enter inside the seed through this micropyle only. Clear? So the water will provide the moisture and the oxygen is required for the aerobic respiration. So through this micropyle only, plumule and radicle will come outside. So this is one point. Clear? Next one. During maturity, means the young seeds are green in nature. If you take any seed, when you take the green peas or the chana or even groundnut, initially they are the fleshy, hydrated, and they are the soft one. As the maturity continues, so during the maturity, due to the dehydration, gradually water content decreases. Initially, when you take the young seed, 70 to 80% water is present. Gradually, water concentration decreases, so it reaches up to the 10 to 15%. Due to the dehydration, what it results into decreased metabolic activity and finally leads into main state, that is called as a dormancy. Dormancy means it is state of inactivity. Physiologically they are living, but they are the inactive one. What happens in young stage? It is hydrated one. As it loses the water content, so due to the dehydration, gradually metabolic activity decreases and they enter into dormancy. Here hormones also play a very important role. When you take the zeberlin and abscisic acid, what we covered in the first year. So due to the imbalance of this hormones one, it faces the dormancy. So dormancy is required. We are going to cover later on. So due to that dormancy, that seed can be easily preserved. Either it is used as a food or it can be used in the next sowing season one. So dormancy phases one. So this is the main point. Now based on this one, what are the advantages of the seed? That is the main topic. Advantages of seeds. So try to make perfect this topic. This is either 2 marks question or the 3 marks question. Clear? Advantages of seed. So 5 to 6 points are there. Again, same topic will come in. So first one, due to first topic means pollination and fertilization is dependent on water. Independent of water. So when you take the angiosperms, so pollination and fertilization, it is not dependent on water. When you take the bryophyte and pteridophyte, they are completely dependent on the water. That's why their distribution is limited. So these two processes are independent of water, but the seed formation is dependent on water. Yes. Second point, due to presence of seed coat, embryo is protected. So when you take the seed one, seed coat is present inside that one, embryonal axis is there. Due to presence of seed coat, embryo is well protected. So that seed coat also contain that micropylar end, so pore one. So through that one, water and oxygen will enter, and through that pore only, during the seed germination, plumule and radicle will come outside. So embryo is well protected inside the seed coat. So due to presence of reserved food, so they contain cotyledon. Presence of reserved food in the cotyledon. Reserved food seedlings are developed till they became photosynthetically active. So what happened? When you take any seed, the seed contain either cotyledon, clear? Otherwise, in some albuminous seed, endosperm is also there. This cotyledon or endosperm will provide the nourishment for the developing embryo, clear? So due to the presence of the reserve food material, that embryo gradually mature and that gradually develop into seedling. So until the first primordial leaf will form, so photosynthesis will not take place. As it start photosynthesis one, they became independent. So due to presence of this reserve food material, seeds can be stored. Clear? So next one, due to dehydration and dormancy. First dehydration take place, this lead into dormancy one. Due to the dehydration and dormancy, so seeds can be either used as a food or used in next seasons as a seeds one. So this is the main character. So if the dehydration and dormancy will not be there, immediately after the seed formation we have to sow that one. Clear? So due to presence of this dormancy, seed can be either preserved for a few months or even for the few years. So when they will get the favorable condition, till that one they are the dormant state only. Favorable condition means whenever you will provide the favorable condition means this is a dormant seed and this is a pore and this is a hilum. Yet if you provide the water in the form of the moisture, oxygen and temperature, that is nothing but the warmth. Clear? So if you provide this one, so gradually from this micropyle, plumule will come outside and radicle will come outside. So then only they will germinate. Till that one they are the dormant one. So through this micropylar end only plumule and radicle will come. So germination will take place only when the seed will get the suitable condition. Suitable condition means water, oxygen and temperature. So this is a fourth point. Fifth point, it is a product of sexual reproduction. Yes, first only point we are, this is the end product of sexual reproduction. So this is the end product of sexual reproduction. So due to that one, genetic recombination occurs. It leads into creating variations. Yes, in first chapter we covered, in sexual reproduction variations are created. So these are the 5 topics. We will revise first. So pollination and fertilization are independent of water. They not depend on water, but the seed formation is dependent on the water one. Clear? They require hydration. Due to the presence of the seed coat, embryo is well protected inside. So that's why we can easily disperse the seed from one place to another place. This is so next main point means they contain seed coat. It is one advantage. Second, due to the presence of a reserved food material, either in the form of cotyledon or the endosperm, the seedling will err and they develop. Clear? So till they produce the first leaf one, the reserved food material is used one. So gradually they became photosynthetically active. Third one, due to the dormancy, dehydration and dormancy. These are the main event. So due to the dormancy, seed can be either used as a food. Clear? So you can store and you can use the food. Suddenly they will not germinate. So either they can use in the next sowing season in agriculture practices. Clear? So either food, either used as a seed. Next one, it is the end product of the sexual reproduction where the gametogenesis and the fertilization take place. Means meiosis and fertilization, both event is followed one. Genetic recombinations are created one, which is responsible for the creation in variation. Clear? So whatever the offsprings produced from this seed one, it is completely different from the mother. So these are the main point. Next one, that is the important one. So they are well adapted for dispersal. I'm writing in the short account. So what happened? The seeds are well adapted and adjusted for the dispersal into the new habitat. So they spread from one area to the another area. Due to that one, it helps in the species for the colonization. So it is dispersed in the new area, helps in colonizing in new area. So these are the main point. What are the advantages of seed ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ seed coat ಇದ್ದ ಕಾರಣದಿಂದ ಎಂಬ್ರಿಯೋ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಒಳಗೆ ಕಾಟಿಲಿಡನ್ ಮತ್ತು ಎಂಡೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಇದ್ದ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ಫುಡ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅದು ಡಿಹೈಡ್ರೇಷನ್ ಮತ್ತು ಡಾರ್ಮೆನ್ಸಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋದ ಕಾರಣ ಆ ಬೀಜವನ್ನು ನೀವು ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡಿಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಅದರ ಆಹಾರವಾಗಿ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಮುಂದಿನ ಸೀಸನ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಬೀಜವಾಗಿ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ಬೋದು ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್. ಸೊ ಇದು ಸೆಕ್ಷುವಲ್ ರೀಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಎಂಡ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ಸೆಕ್ಷುವಲ್ ರೀಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಿಯೋಸಿಸ್ನೂ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದರ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ ಜೆನೆಟಿಕ್ ರೀಕಾಂಬಿನೇಷನ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ಸ್. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? So when we compare the bryophyte, pteridophyte, gymnosperms, angiosperms one, so gymnosperm seeds are the naked. They are not covered with the seed coat and they are not present inside the fruit. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸೀಡು ಹಣ್ಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದ ಕಾರಣ, ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಫ್ರೂಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಡಿಸ್ಟರ್ಬ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಒನ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ಟು ದ ಅನದರ್ ಏರಿಯಾ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಡಿಸ್ಪರ್ಸಲ್, ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್ ಆಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಏರಿಯಾದಿಂದ ಬಹಳ ಕಡೆ ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್ ಆಗೋದು. ಸೊ ಡಿಸ್ಪರ್ಸಲ್ ಇನ್ ದ ನ್ಯೂ ಏರಿಯಾ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಕೊಲೊನೈಸಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ದ ನ್ಯೂ ಏರಿಯಾ. ಕೊಲೊನೈಸಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಆ ಬೀಜ ಬಿದ್ದ ಕೂಡ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಅದೇ ಗಿಡ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಅಡ್ವಾಂಟೇಜಸ್ ಆಫ್ seed one. So next topic is a small 2 facts are there. Clear? That is based on the viability. We are going to cover on this side. Clear? Just wait a second. Yes, student. We will continue the next topic. So these are very, very small topics only. Figures are already drawn. Now, next topic is viability of seed. Viability seed means, so it is a functional period during which the seeds are viable. Means they have the capacity to germinate. Means if you provide the suitable condition, that seed will germinate. So if you cross this period, the viability lost. So if you provide the suitable condition, they will not germinate. So few seeds, the seeds of the few plant viable for only few months. Within that only you have to sow them. Next one, seeds of the most of the plant viable for the few years. Clear? But some exceptional cases are there. So two typical examples means specific examples are given. First case is means so Lupinus arcticus. So one plant name is given. This is lupin. The seed of this plant excavated from Arctic tundra, here Arctic region, and it is estimated that the seeds germinated after 10,000 years of dormancy. Listening. So the seeds of this Lupinus arcticus is excavated from the Arctic tundra zone. So they germinated and produced flowers after the estimated period of the 10,000 years of dormancy. Means they remain dormant for 10,000 years, not one or two. After 10,000 years, when this seed gets the suitable condition, they germinated, they produced the plant, and on that plant flowering also. So this is a one example. Second example, Phoenix dactylifera. One more name is given, Phoenix dactylifera. So the seeds are excavated from Harrod King Harrod's Palace near Dead Sea. So this is from the Arctic tundra and this is from near the Dead Sea. The seed of this Phoenix dactylifera germinated after almost 2,000 years of dormancy. So based on this one, almost one mark question may arise. From which region these two seeds are excavated? The Lupinus seed is excavated from the Arctic tundra. Phoenix dactylifera seeds are extracted from the Dead Sea near the the Harrod King's Palace near the Dead Sea. So this is germinated after 10,000 years of dormancy. This is germinated after 2,000 years of dormancy. So these are one mark question. So this is about the end of seeds one. But before that one, some figures are given in the textbook. So based on figure, almost question may arise. Basically from this one. So draw the neat label diagram of this figure is going to draw. So this is a figure of maize seed. Now the first figure. So this is a seed, means this is a seed of beans. So when you observe this one, cotyledon is present, micropyle is there. Here endosperm is not given. So beans are the non-endosperm. Already we covered. Exalbuminous or non-albuminic seed. This is a bean. Second one, this is a figure of castor. So this is the albuminous seed. when you observe the seed coat is present. So this is a two layer, outer testa, inner tegmen. Endosperm is present outside here. So this region is an endospermic. Clear? If endosperm present in a mature seed, then this seed is endospermic. Clear? Cotyledon is also present, endosperm is also present, and this is called the hypocotyle, which will develop into lower portion, root tip, or this one, and this is a shoot apex, this is the epicotyle. So this is the seed of castor seed. Clear? One more figure is given. In this case also seed coat is present, cotyledon is present. Here the shoot apical meristem, which is a epicotyle, hypocotyle or the root tip is given. Again endosperm is mentioned here. So this is also endospermic seed. This is the seed of onion. Yes, this is the mostly asked question. So when you take this figure, endosperm is present, almost it will cover 60% of the seed space and covered by the pericarp. Clear? So this is the seed coat plus means outermost fruit wall combined to form the pericarp. Next one, so this is the embryonal axis. On that one, this is the scutellidon. Clear? That cotyledon is called the scutellum. This region is called the epicotyle, where the plumule is there, coleoptile is there. This is the hypocotyle, radicle is there, covered by the coleorhiza. So this is the figure of seed of maize. Clear? So actual name is not given in the textbook. Better you draw once this figure and make perfect. Clear? So this is a maize. Mostly going to ask this question. Draw the neat level diagram of maize seed or the onion seed or this castor seed. So this is about the seed. In seed we covered almost facts only. So this is not that much difficult, but you have to memorize all the topic. But major question, write the types of seed is going to ask, endospermic and non-endospermic. One more major question means what are the advantages of seed? 5 points we cover. Clear? Again, one more question means the Lupinus archaeticus or the Phoenix dactylifera. These are the one more question. Clear? So now only small portions we left. That is nothing but the fruit, apomixis and polyembryoning. So if we cover that one, the second chapter is going to finish. Clear? We will meet in the next video. Till then, take care. Goodbye.